Hello and welcome to episode 93 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine evening, somehow getting away from his 13 jobs, Mr. Perry Burkham.
Hello, Casey. I believe you have a video review to begin working on.
Buh. Buh.
And you don't even know. You know what? You don't even know what the game is yet. But I want you to start working on it.
I don't. Well, yeah. I already begun. That's the thing. You
will know by the end of today.
Yes. So,
I don't know what we were saying.
Should we just start fresh?
No. Nope. So, yeah. How's it going, Casey?
Not too bad. A long weekend of drinking, which is not something I normally do. So
of weddings?
Yep.
A long weekend of drinking.
Yep.
Thinking what?
Tequila. Oh. Well, what
Really?
it was. Well, yeah. So it was cool. The venue. All right. So where the venue was, there were like a bunch of houses right next to it that they'd rented. So it was like everything was real nice and close for walking distance. So we got there Friday, did the rehearsal. Then we went to dinner, and when we got back, it was like just like the groomsmen hanging out kind of thing for the night. So you know, there was drinking to be done, and then of course at the wedding, you gotta drink, right? That's what they always say. No, I
never drank at a wedding.
Yeah, no, I was cutting loose. You know, it was my.
Yeah.
It was one of those. I don't normally like to drink, but on occasion, you know what I mean. It has to. You gotta pull out the old party pants.
Was it an open bar?
Yeah. And well, see, the thing is, like, we were drinking beers the first night, and I was like, I don't want to drink any more beer. You know what I mean?
Bartender, 1 Pepsi, please.
Well, yeah. And then they had these tequila lemonades, and they just pretty much tasted like lemonade. So I was like, okay, I could roll with this. And then I had to drive 2.5 hours the next day home. It sucked.
I got in a car wreck and Kate's dead.
Bo, how'd you know?
Anyway,
how are you doing, dude? How are you?
Oh, so good. Very, very good. Working on some fun little projects that I'm excited to tell people when the day comes what these projects could be.
When that faithful day comes that you can spill the beans.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun, but before that, we have to talk about what games we've been playing.
You mean what games I've been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing a couple, but we're gonna wait to talk about them on a different one because we're gonna be doing some interviews.
Ooh, yeah! Next week we've got a couple of interviews lined up, but we'll talk a little bit about that towards the end.
Yep.
But yeah, so I've been playing the newest game from Nintendo, as you might imagine. I went and I picked up Mario Tennis Aces.
I've been so busy that I came home today and Mario Tennis came in the mail and I didn't even open it up yet.
Well, that's a good thing, because it's time to return. No.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, so Mario Tennis, it is definitely tennis. We talked a little bit about the mechanics back when the demo went live, but just a quick recap. Essentially, as you rally and you complete nice shots, you get energy, which you can then use for both offensive and defensive capabilities. So on offense, occasionally one of their hits will be returned, and there'll be like a little star underneath where it's going to land. And if you go over to that area and you press R, you get like a power shot, which then you can use the gyros on the controller or the Joy-Cons to aim where it is, and you can blast that shot. Now, what's cool is it's not an automatic win. You know, if the other person doesn't have any energy, it's pretty easy to get the point because you just aim it far enough away from them, and it's such a fast shot, it's tough to get to. But if it's at them or if they have energy, they can actually like sort of slow time down and get into position, and then they can actually block it with a properly timed return.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you can break your racket and eventually get sort of knocked out of the match if you continue to break too many rockets. But what is cool, I think, with the new sort of power shots is that it does add a lot of flexibility for both sides. I've had plenty of matches where it's like they'll use their power and then I'll still have enough to sort of return it, and it keeps the rally going, which is fun. But, like I said, we talked pretty much about the gameplay, and it's not really changed. You know what I mean? It's really good tennis gameplay. I mean,
have you dipped into the single player?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm going to get into a little bit more now. And so the single player is sort of a letdown. It's not great. Okay. Some might even say, is it a little lazy maybe? So essentially what happens is you need to collect like these 5 power stones. And it's like, what happened? Okay, so the story is you're hanging out with Luigi, then Waluigi and Wario come, and like you can tell they're sort of weird because their eyes are like, they sort of have like a purpley like haze behind them, And I guess essentially they found like this cursed racket, and then it like messed up Luigi too. So now, it's all. So essentially, you need to go collect these 5 power stones, and then I guess that can sort of help seal that racket away or defeat it or whatever. So you start off in the forest, and you go through like it's sort of like a new Super Mario Bros. Like overworld. There's like spots on the map that you just run to in a line. Visually it looks nice, and you start in the forest and you go through a couple of little spots on the map, and you get in there. Oh, it's like a one-on-one, or hey, it's knock down all of like as many targets as you can and get a certain amount of points. But like literally, I picked this game up Friday morning before we left for the wedding. Like I had to go get a haircut, picked up the game, came home packed, and I had like a half hour before we left. And I had already gotten a power stone. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, that was pretty quick. And then it was like, all right, go to the next area. And it's just the areas, like, the games are never really that much fun. It's sort of like a slog to get into them. So it's like you land on the map, and then all of a sudden, like, it shows you what that is. So you see, like, a little picture of, like, oh, it's a, whatever chord it is. And then Mario comes, like a still of Mario comes up in the corner, and like a little, of Boo, and they're sort of interacting back and forth, and then you go into the match, So it's like all of the dialogue and stuff literally is just like still screen with like Mario and whoever he's talking to, like sort of moving a little bit in the foreground. Sort of reminds me of like a Fire Emblem, how that sort of presentation?
Yep.
So it's like, not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's just like it's like, okay, it's like it just got to the point where I was more interested in getting through the text to see what I was going to be doing, than actually like enjoying or getting engaged in any bit of story. You do level up as you beat matches or beat little challenges. You do level up, and that sort of either increases like your power, speed, or agility. Then you can also trying to think. No, I guess. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. Sorry. You get new rackets as well as you continue through the story. Like, the one was actually like a little bonus area, and then it's like, hey, it was Boo, and he's like, hey, if you could rally it back and forth and we get 500 points, like, I'll give you this new racket and it'll be better. And it, it bumps up your stats a little bit. But it's just, I don't know. It's just not great. Like, the one boss I had to fight was this big mirror, and it's like it has 3 lives. So it's like you rally back and forth, and it's a big mirror with like 2 little floating mirror hands that are the rackets. So like you hit the ball.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, so you hit the ball, and he catches it with his racket hands, and it just slowly dwindles his life down to the point where you get down to 0, and then you need to slam him with a power shot. And then that takes a heart away. Then he controls some furniture in the room, and then you need to run around the court avoiding it. Otherwise, you lose 10 seconds because you need to beat it in a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. And then the second time comes, and now as you're doing it, like, all right, you do the thing, he blocks it with his hands. Now all of a sudden you need to smash him with the power shot. But now all that crap that he had flying around the room is now obscuring the mirror. So I was under the impression you needed to get like the super power shot, which is a full gauge. Then you hit the L trigger or the L button, L shoulder button, and then you do like a powerful shot. So I was under the impression that's how you did damage to him. So when I did this, it was like I could not get it through to the mirror without hitting something, and it took me like forever. And I kept trying, and I finally got it, and I had no time left, so I was like, all right, I got to restart this. And then I did it again, and I couldn't figure it out. And then you realize, oh, okay, like you can actually just smash it with like the regular one, so you don't use all of your power. So it's like you actually need to clear the path by hitting all of the debris with a power shot and then hitting him with it. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you got to do it for a third time. And it's just like, it was like a super drawn out, not particularly fun fight, And then it's like, on top of that, there's no retry button. So like, for instance, like that one time when I finally got that second phase done, but there was only like 30 seconds left. So it's like, of course I'm not going to be able to finish this final phase in 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, there's no restart. You either need to play it out or you can exit completely. Then they have like a little like, oh, you didn't beat the challenge dialogue. And then you can talk to him again. And you can skip the dialogue when you retry it, But it's just like, give me that retry button,
Oh. Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, and then it's like, most of the time, it's like, I just want to actually play more tennis. Like I think the side mission things or the side little like activities are cool if it was like a 80-20 split, Whereas like, oh, you played like, for each Power Stone you played 4 matches of tennis, 1 regular match, 1 match with like a crazy course, a doubles match, and then a boss battle, and there was 1 side thing, like I feel like that would work better, but it's just not like that at all. There's only a handful of matches I've played so far, and I should say they are pretty cool. Like the one was, it was on, you were on a ship. So, like, in the middle of the court was the mast, you know what I mean? So, like, you had to deal with that, and you could, like, bank it off that to, like, distort the shot to mess the opponent up. But, obviously, it could, like, just totally backfire and screw you up, too. To me, like, the core tennis game is really good. I really like that. It's, like, the single player, like, if you were buying this game because you love the Game Boy Advance single-player games, like the RPG element so much, like, this is not that. So, have your expectations tempered when going into that story mode. But for online playing stuff, and like I said, if local co-op, it's a blast. Like, the actual gameplay is still good. It's just the options around it. It's not nearly, like, as bad as, like, Power Tennis, you know what I mean? Of course. But yeah, it just
Power
seems.
Tennis?
Or wasn't that like or Power? I thought it was Super Power for Wii U.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't that Power Tennis?
Ultra Smash? Is that what it's called?
Maybe.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Am I right?
I was gonna say, I try to forget about that one.
I know, it's funny. Like, everyone's so excited. Like, finally, like, this is what we like, a single player, and And Casey, get that single player crap out of here. I just want the tennis.
No, well, I know, because I do like those old Game Boy ones, you know what I mean? The Game Boy Advance, but it's just, I feel like I'm going to continue to play the story mode until Wolfenstein comes out, and then I'll be like, then I'll just jump in for online tennis, or, if it, local, ever springs up. Not that it's really much of an option for me, but yeah, no, I mean, like I said, the game's fun, and like I'm looking forward to us playing online. Like I think like that's gonna be when it's really at its best,
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, definitely
On our game night.
Oh yeah, baby. Which we need to plan one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely still good tennis fun. Just don't get too excited for the single player is all I'm saying.
Tennis more like tinnitus.
Yeah. That elbow That tennis
Yeah, sure.
elbow.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm King of the Hill. We can go. Come on, Bobby. We can go to the doctor and make fun of the people with tennis elbow. And they go there.
Good old Hank.
They go there. They're sitting there. Hey, did you get that playing tennis? And then they just snicker at him.
It is so good.
Tennis makes fun of itself. Anyway, just kidding. I like actually I love tennis, and in video game and regular
And
form.
in reality,
Yes. But let's move on to a game that I've been playing, and I should have just done a mystery history, but I already told you.
yeah, we can do a mystery history. Is it
Sure.
Star Fox Zero?
It is. Yes, Star Fox Zero. What in the heck? Where did this come from?
Are you feeling all right?
I know, isn't that... Star Fox Zero is not a bad game at all.
No, more so that you're playing the Wii U.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so once again, I was kind of hijacked by my friends to play some Star Fox games. They're obsessed with Star Fox. And,
What are you hanging out with John Rudin?
No. But I, you know, they're like, let's play some let's play Star Fox Adventures. And I just thought, you know what? Crazy thought. What if we play a good game? And so I thought, let's play Star Fox Zero. Because I beat that game and I never came back to it.
And they're like, I thought you said a good game. No,
yeah. Yeah, so Star Fox Zero. So we're on the last stage. We've had two gaming sessions.
you pervert.
I think that, yeah. And, yeah, Star Fox Zero. Now, that is an interesting game, I tell you what. And a really weird, like, when that game was announced, wasn't that at the 2014 E3? And it was just the gameplay concept that Miyamoto talked about with the Wii U.
Yeah, and I think there might have been, like, the most slight off-screen gameplay of just like a R-Wing flying.
Yeah, it was just like gameplay. Yeah, that's all it was, you know. And
they're like, we're still looking for a developer to work with.
Yeah, yeah, it was so weird. And they're like, but it's releasing next year. Remember like that video? Remember that video they showed in 2015 when they're like, Miyamoto and like Bill Trinen, and Miyamoto's like, and Star Fox Zero is coming out this year, and it's releasing before Zelda, and then he was true about it releasing before Zelda, but Zelda was released 2017.
Remember? Yeah.
That's
oh my
funny.
God, the
That's
first
so
little
funny.
teaser in like 2004.
It's like for sure coming out in 2015. It's for sure coming out in 2016.
Absolutely 2017.
Yep.
We
I
said
told
the
you.
2016 fiscal year, dang it.
They probably did say that, actually. That's funny. Stupid fiscal year. Someone needs to go and align the actual year with the fiscal year. That might be kind of convenient. Although it is a little thing that snobby people can brag that they know.
Yeah, don't take that away from me.
The fiscal year is actually ended March 22nd
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're an idiot.
But yeah, Star Fox Zero. It's a weird game. It's like, you know, it's the total dual screen thing. It's definitely like the Wii. It's probably the last Wii U game. Well, I guess the last one was Color Splash. But don't get me started on Color Splash. I'll keep talking till the cows come home. That's Casey. But yeah, and what I mean by that is like it's so weird because it's like it's a normal Star Fox game basically on the screen, except for you have the motion controls, the gamepad, and then on the gamepad you have the like dome 360 view that you can do to make more precise shots. So I remember when I first started the game, I was really excited about it, like when it first came out, and I was like, okay. And then I remember started playing. I was like, is this bad? Like,
Yeah,
is this
yeah.
a bad game?
I
I was like, I
don't know.
totally don't get this, you know. But then I remember getting into the hook of it where you're like, because the controls are actually kind of complex, because like there's like bombs, and you can go into a chicken walker, and then there's accelerating, and then there's U-turns, and
yeah, I'd
and
say it's definitely a complex sort of control scheme to master, you know?
Yeah, it is. And then on top of that, it's like that times two, because you have like the two screens. So I'm playing with my friend, and I'm like telling him like, look up there, look on the screen, and and he's trying to look down here, and like, you get
tunnel vision.
You should be looking
at one screen, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's a fire on the other one.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's just weird. It's like, why would I want to be looking? Like, why would I want to have to look at two different screens?
It would have made more sense, I think, on the 3DS, because it's like you could see both screens at one time.
Kind of, but then there's no motion.
I mean, you know what I mean? I know what you mean. Much more than, like, unless if you were like, I'm going to hold my gamepad out at a 90-degree angle, you know what I mean? Like, underneath the TV.
Yeah.
Maybe it's how we should have played.
Yeah, I know. But Star Fox 64 3D is amazing. So, well, I guess we should say that. But, playing through it, I really do like the game. I do think that, man, I wish we just had a Star Fox with dual analog controls. Like, we still haven't really had one like that. Like, Star Fox 0 is that. But it's that plus the kind of annoyance of the Wii U gamepad, like, put in. Which is so unfortunate to say, because I think the gamepad is really cool in most ways when it's used. But I'm not a big fan of this one.
They should have put in the option for standard controls as well. And I know that would have, ultimately would have been the way probably 95% of the people would have played. And I get that it's like they wanted the whole Wii U gamepad, like it's got a purpose more than a horn button, but it's like
it could have done something cool with no, exactly, you're right. And I think that's why it was like, no, we're sticking with the Wii U concept, and it's like, well then
why'd you start taking 3D out of the 3DS games? Don't give me that baloney if you're going to be doing that to the other games.
Yep. Quit with your double standards,
especially since the Wii U was a dead duck. Who cared?
No.
As long as if the game was fun, totally right. People would have played it.
And like Platinum did a great job with it. I mean, it looks great. Like, the characterization's great. I mean, it looks phenomenal. I mean, it feels phenomenal in like the frame rate and everything. Designs of the creatures are cool. The Gigarilla is cool. It's just it's a really cool game. It's just like, I feel like it just has like it has this not crutch, what I'm looking for. Maybe that's what it has.
It's got a limp.
It has a limp. There you go. It needs a crutch. And I just, it's like one of those things where, okay, is this primed for a re-release on the Switch? And it's like, I don't think it can be. Like,
unless if they reworked it for just standard controls.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like Captain Toad had some instances where you used the gamepad,
I guess,
to tap and stuff.
But I guess, I mean, Star Fox really relied on both being used in conjunction throughout the whole game, So I really don't think. I think if you were going to make, if you were going to put in the effort to making that one work for the Switch, you might as well just put it into making a completely new one, because it's not like Zero had a great reputation to begin with,
Yeah, Star Fox 2. Well,
-1. Dang it.
I feel like it'd be like, how cool would it be to have that concept on Star? I think that the only thing that the biggest thing about it is two screens, like diverting attention away from each screen and not really knowing, and then kind of Star Fox can get super intense, like with tons and tons of enemies, and it's actually a pretty hard game, like because of the controls and stuff. So, yeah, you're right. I just think that it'd be so cool to have, I would love, the motion controls feel great. So I'm thinking, with a Pro Controller, with the Joy-Cons, it'd be awesome.
The cons
kind of like Breath of the Wild, like Breath of the Wild motion control. Like, probably the best motion control ever is Breath of the Wild. because it's just and like all of the Wii U Zelda games where they have just the added analog aiming is so nice, you know. But it's just I don't want to divert away from the from the big screen. But something that is cool, they do use the speakers on the gamepad really cool, you know, to make it sound like the radio inside of the spaceship. And
yeah, oh yeah, no,
like
they definitely did some cool things. I mean, I played it and I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Like you said, it was just like I guess sort of forgettable game. You know, like it didn't really jump off the page at you, but I didn't I wasn't disappointed with my time either when I played it.
No, I thought I had a lot of fun. I remember the last boss being really fun. I was just gonna make.
I remember when it came out. That came out 2015. I was at PAX, so that was the game they were showing off.
What a nerd!
And and it was cool. They had like a big cockpit thing you could get in. But I was like, I'm not standing in line for that. It'll be waiting for me when I get home. And then I got home and it was there, and I don't think I played it till the next day. But I probably played more Guard than I did Star Fox Zero.
That's crazy, yeah.
Well, considering we went back, remember we played it?
Uh-huh. Yeah. But yeah, Star Fox is great. I want a new one.
Starlink, yeah. Have you really watched much Starlink yet?
I haven't seen anything.
Well, I'm telling you, dude.
Not one thing.
You should check it out. That game looks pretty sweet.
I know I should. I've heard it looks awesome.
It went from originally I was excited, or at least entertaining it back when it was just like a third party on Nintendo. Wow. And then like seeing the Star Fox stuff and like the gameplay they showed off this year at E3, I am definitely checking that game out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But speaking of definitely checking games out, I think you still have been you reviewed a game for the old NWR.
Yes, sir, I did. This was a game I was pretty excited about when it was showed off. I believe it was the Nindy Summer Switch thing, or it was one of the Nindy Directs. But and it was the multiplayer co-op game Pode. Yes, Pode. It is
Nintendo P-O-D?
P-O-D-E. This game right here is a co-op game, a cute little puzzler, and the first thing that's going to jump off to you about this game is just how gorgeous it is. I mean, like, it's really unbelievable. So, how it works is that you, I guess it opens up a little cutscene, and like a star has fallen out of the sky, and it's sort of landed in this sort of cavey looking area. And it's like, what's going on? And then this little rock creature comes out, and there's no communication in this game, like text-wise, so it's like little cute little gestures, and it turns out that the rock is going to help the star get back to the sky and sort of reconvene with, I guess, presumably the star's family. But anyway, so you sort of work with these two, and they each have different little abilities. They both can do, by holding down like the trigger buttons, is a little sort of emit power. So like a little sphere comes out from either the star or the rock, and it's just like a little energy field, and that could be used to sort of activate and sort of interact with the environment. And then they also have other abilities, so the star can sort of float a little bit more. Obviously the rock sort of, when it jumps, it just goes down. But if the star holds that emit power button, it sort of slow falls, so it can, clear bigger distances. And then the rock can actually sort of inhale things and carry it, and then it can also, there are these little rectangle box-shaped things in the wall, like tubes, that essentially the rock can go into, and it'll bring them sort of to higher ground. And what's cool is in the beginning you get little puzzles that work with pretty minimally, like, oh, go over here, activate this, have the rock carry this over to here, pretty simple stuff. but then it continues to ramp up where they you need to work with the abilities together. So, for instance, you'll have the rock needs to eat up the star and spit it across the way, and then the star can actually at some point, not too deep into the game, it learns the ability to teleport, I should say. So it leaves like a copy of itself, and then you could run around or whatever, go down, activate other switches, and then you can, with a press of a button, you zap back to that area. So what's cool is, a lot of vertical traversal in this game. So there, the star can get up here, but there's no way to get the rock. So, like, how are you going to do it? And it turns out, all right, we need to leave a copy up there, jump down to the bottom. The rock can eat the star, and then the star can teleport. And since it's inside the rock, it brings the rock with it, So it's like cool little ways that they interact with one another. And now the puzzles, like I said, there are no hint buttons or anything. And essentially you go into an area, and then it's just like the puzzle is literally just getting from the entrance of that room to the exit. And then by getting to the exit, you go to another room, and then it's the same thing. So each room is its individual puzzle objective, get to the end. And you need to have both of your characters with you. So as you get deeper in, they get more obtuse, and it's usually not too bad until like the real like last puzzle in each room is just like the difficulty is skyrockets. It's insane, and it's like really obtuse, and like it's discouraging a little bit because it's like, and like I'll admit I'm not the world's best puzzle player, you know what I mean? But like I've played plenty.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, you big moron. But I've played plenty of puzzles games, and like generally, if you smash your head against it long enough, you'll figure it out. And like that was usually the case, and it's like one, I was sort of figuring out, and then you're like, oh, you sort of scour the room, and then you notice, oh, if you look real close in the corner, there's like one little bead over there, and that's the hint that to go over there, and then you can actually go up a little higher, and then you sort of find the solution, And it's just like a lot of like obtuse things where it's just not, in plain sight, and there's no like even little hint to sort of guide you along, so that just becomes frustrating to me, And like I said, maybe there are better puzzle players out there, but like I've watched a couple other reviews, and like I talked to Justin Nation, and he was sort of on board, but like some of the things are just sort of like, well, it would have been nice to just sort of know, throw a little hint or something to, throw me a bone, dang it. But the best thing about this game, in my opinion, is just how great it looks. So, that ability I told you when you emit your power or your energy from your creatures, it interacts with the environment around it. So, like I said, you're in this cave. When you get into it, it's very drab, dark, sort of just rocks, And as you walk along emitting this power, like all of a sudden, like beautiful foliage sprouts up and flowers and really cool designs. And then when the rock hits these little like rock clusters, they blow up into cool looking crystals, So the room you enter it is just so boring and bland, and when you leave, it's really, really cool to look at. And especially how it doesn't just pop up, like you see it grow, and all of a sudden the flowers get bigger and the petals get bigger. And some of that interacts with puzzles. Like there will be times when like a big leaf will go up, and then you can sort of use that to climb away. Or the crystals, like one of them, like actually like a big crystal will break out of it, which is needed for puzzle elements,
Yeah.
But the game itself is absolutely gorgeous. Now, as far as the co-op goes, co-op is definitely better. Caitlin and I got to play a little bit, not a ton, but definitely more fun with another player because the gameplay is generally pretty slow. So it's like the characters don't move particularly fast, and it's sort of just like, oh, you're going through, you're enjoying the game sort of, blow up with color as you are, emitting the power around and making these rooms beautiful.
It's kind of relaxing.
Yeah, so when you're with another person, it's fun to sort of be able to take that in. When you're playing single player, still visually, like I said, really nice to look at, but it's just more boring. You need to switch between the characters more. There is an option when you're playing solo to be able to, like, if you hold both trigger buttons down, they actually hold hands. And then you can, it's pretty cute.
That's awesome.
And then you can move around as one, but it's not perfect. Like when you're trying to platform and they sort of get unsynced, and then the character's falling off the edge. And there's no penalty for death. Like literally, they'll just re-pop back up. But just annoying, And just platforming in general is pretty rough because it's pretty zoomed out view. So it's like, it's tough sometimes with the angle to be like, it's like, that missed the jump. Like, all right. And like I said, there's no real punishment. It's just like, okay, I need to climb back up and do it again. But it's like a little annoying, But,
yeah.
I mean.
Yes, it's just a common thread is like, it's where back in the good old days, the annoyances were there because it was part of the punishment. But then when there's no punishment really involved with it, it's just annoying. like dying in Super Mario Bros. Like,
yeah, and you lose an arbitrary number.
It's just like, it was harder and there was a reason why, but now it's just
they give you so many lives that it doesn't matter. Yeah. So I mean, to me, like I said, there are some clever puzzles and stuff, and like I said, it is visually a really beautiful game. But just like I said, some frustrating moments with the platforming and obtuse puzzles. So it's like, I think if you're a really big puzzle fan, I think there is still good in this game to be had, But if you're like in a more casual, just sort of like, oh, it looks cool, I want to check it out, like. The gameplay to me didn't match how beautiful the game was, like the visuals and like seeing the world explode with color, like that was easily my favorite takeaway from the game. Not so much the actual puzzles. So, like I said, still some good there if you're a big puzzle fan, but definitely not a game for everyone. But yeah, you can check out. I did do the review over at NWR for the game, so if you want a more in-depth look.
Visit NintendoWorldReport.com.
Yes, sir. There's no video for this one, just written. You'll have to read, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no!
That's it. I'm going fishing.
I can't concentrate that long.
I can't read.
I'll have to go back to dumb school.
That's why I'm doing a podcast.
Yep.
But yeah. That's the end of what I've got to talk about.
I was thinking about changing our podcast to just reading Nintendo World Report articles.
I'm in.
Like an ebook,
Yeah.
Or no, is that what an ebook is?
No, an audiobook. Yeah, audiobook. Ebook is for them reading folks still. Yeah. Whoa.
Okay, well, let's take a quick break and come back with the eShop RoundUp.
Ooh.
I can't believe it. We're back with the eShop RoundUp.
The eShop RoundUp. Yeehaw.
Yes, sir. And kicking us off this week, it is the encapsulation of my weekend in video game form. Grab the Bottle for $4.99.
Did you just make up a word?
Did I?
Encapsulation?
Did I say encapsulation, or I thought I said encapsulated?
No, encapsulation.
All right, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is... Why not?
It best encapsulations... encapitalizes the puzz form, Yeah, anyway,
yeah.
But yes, Grab the Bottle. Now, this is a cool-looking puzzle game where I guess the screens I'm looking, sort of your arm comes in, and it looks like it's got a very floppy jalopy physics to it. But I like the art style. It looks interesting.
Yeah,
I like the one, his arms coming out of like a baby stroller, you know, at the park.
In the world. I like
$4.99. $4.99.
Why not? Now, next up, we have Minecraft for $29.99. Now, call me crazy.
Hey there, crazy.
Hasn't this been on the Switch for like a year?
I think this is an update. So I think if you bought the old one, I'm pretty sure you get the update for free, and it's probably just like hey guys, like the new shiny version's out.
I guess it comes with the update, aquatic, cross-platform play, and access to a multitude of content through the Minecraft Marketplace.
Yeah, see, current owners of Nintendo Switch Edition will be able to upgrade to the new version of Minecraft by downloading it from the eShop for free.
There you go.
So, yeah,
All right.
Cool stuff. Now, continuing on, we've got The Journey Down, Chapter 1 for $9.99.
From Blitworks.
This is, I guess,
creepy.
it looks like an adventure game, right? Pretty much, adventure puzzle
like
game. It's
It's
sort of
scary.
It's creepy looking.
Looks like Snoop Dogg.
It's like all of the characters I see look very strange, but it's like it looks cool. It looks interesting.
Looks interesting.
In the shady corner of Kingsport Bay. Anyway.
But speaking of Casey Gibson, the next game we have is Destiny's Princess, a war story, a love story.
Do you know they came to me about being one of the leading men in this game here, and I declined.
Oh yeah, I can see.
I said I wouldn't be able to enjoy the game myself if I had to see me in there.
One of the chapters is called Run to the Hills.
A historical Japanese romance game for women with beautiful visuals and sound.
All right, $14.99. Let's keep going to Vegas Party. Another game that encapsulations Casey's last weekend.
Encapitalizations.
You know, if you're gonna say, "Hey, Perry, who do you think published Vegas Party?" I'd say probably Funbox Media.
And I'd say you were right, you big Jimmy, but you probably looked. $24.99.
Yeah, I did.
This looks like, I guess, just like a collection of different sort of gambling games. Double down on some blackjack.
Bingo, slot machine,
I see roulette.
Texas Hold'em. It looks like a very impressive N64 game.
Yes, sir.
For $24.99. All right.
Next up here, we've got Lost in Harmony for $6.99. And this is a music game.
Interesting.
I'm trying to see from the screenshots here if I can get a good look of how it might work.
What in the world?
I see like
There's a guy skateboarding. There's a bear swiping after him on one of them.
It looks like maybe
a huge bear.
Like the one screen looks like the buttons sort of scroll from left to right, and you need to hit them on the right spot.
Yeah.
Weird.
Anyway. Yep, that's $6.99.
Next up here, I've heard a bunch about this game.
You have?
Yes, Johnny Turbo's Arcade Wizard Fire. I've heard the Johnny Turbo's arcade games are really well done.
Okay, because the screenshots look super blurry, but I'm wondering if there's like a pixel mode.
Pixel perfect or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe I was just thinking I've heard of Johnny Turbo's Arcade, but Wizard Fire looks like a little RPG action multiplayer. Sort of looks like Gauntlet a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Cool. More arcade games, nothing wrong with that. And speaking of which, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Neo Geo, it's a week, and it is The Last Blade 2 for $7.99. And let me tell you what, this arcade game looks better than the last one we just talked about, at least graphics-wise.
Look at those graphics, dude. They're so like tight and like
the Neo Geo.
They
is
really
gorgeous,
nail that
man.
anime down. You know, like man, look at those. Like that one with the girl, like with like a big water pillar coming out from the ground.
Oh, the ice, ice
Look
rod.
at the animation, dude. That's amazing.
It all looks
It's
really cool.
Insane, dude. Wow. Anyway, yep, it's another Neo Geo fighting game.
Amen to that.
Yep. Yep, we can't get enough of those. But next up, we have a game we just talked about, Pode.
It's Pode.
Featuring P-O-D-E from Henchman and Goon, which is a great name.
What's that check-in at?
So. $24.99.
All right.
Next up, we have Musinks.
Musinks?
It's a music game.
Musinks?
Musinks. The new music game sensation, featuring classic hardcore rhythm gameplay mechanics. Looks nice. I believe this game is coming physical via limited run games. I don't think on Switch though.
Well, maybe in the future for Switch.
Let's see. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But moving along here, we've got Gunbird 2 for Nintendo Switch, and this is another. Psycho is coming back. I love their details here. But yeah, it looks like a nice, good old fashioned shmup.
Shmup. Yep. Yeah. Did you see that flip grip thing?
Oh yeah, it's where it's like a normal grip, but the switch is vertical, right?
For vertical, yeah. So I think
that would be amazing. I should look into that. That would be really cool.
I backed it. You can back it for...
Oh, it's not actually a thing yet?
It's on Kickstarter, and it's like 200% funded. And it's only like $12. So... I got it, because it's like, heck yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, that is something that... Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. My Hori play stand, I'll live with that thing till the day I die. But it'd be nice, like, if you're sitting on the couch or something, to be able to have it right there.
Play Donkey Kong.
All set up.
To play Donkey Kong in vertical mode? Heck yeah.
That'd be perfect.
So good, yeah. Anyway, that's Gunbird 2. Shoot 'em up. Moving on to a game called Drawful 2.
Is this a standalone?
It's a standalone game. Isn't that weird?
Very strange, because
it's a Jackbox game.
Yeah, I was gonna say they might. The peeps might remember us talking about that with our... I feel like we had that Jackbox month. Where it was just playing all the Jackbox games.
I've still been playing a little Jackbox when family and friends come over, so...
But I guess this is one of the more popular ones, and I guess Drawful is essentially... That's... What game is that? Like, not charades, but... What is that game called?
Pictionary?
Yeah. Right?
It's not really Pictionary, though. I don't think. I mean, it's not the same. Like, it's
more or less, though. Like, people, I feel like, would be able to associate.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
Anywho. Next up, we have a little game called Mario Tennis Aces. We just talked about that.
Yep.
It's sitting in my other room in the Manila package.
And that's a full retail game, $59.99.
Boom.
But you know what isn't $59.99? Cubicolor.
Cubicolor.
For $8.99. And you're armed with your logic and your cube. Move through 150 levels, outwitting the traps in the system, an evil, scheming entity, to confront the machine and pass the test, Perry. You can pay $8.99, but can you pass the test?
Is that what it says?
Yep.
Anyway, interesting. Looks cool. Looks nice. But coming up, we have Paranautical Activity. This game is so weird. It's kind of a voxely looking old school first-person shooter action game with a roguelike twist for $7.99. Looks kind of cool. You know? Yeah. There's lots of things in there, and it looks interesting. And the logo is very weird.
Yep. Now, this game, I'm sure many people have played, but I have not. And it is De Blob for $29.99.
Yeah, I've heard really, really good things. I own this on Wii, yet I haven't played it.
What a gem. You know what that's called? A colossal waste of money.
I bought it for $1 from Aaron.
Colossal waste
I don't know if it's colossal.
You could have bought a Pepsi Cola with that friggin' dollar. Don't tell me it's a waste.
Just go kill yourself, Casey.
That's not nice at all.
I wasn't trying to be nice, so points for me.
You know what's not trying to be nice? Airmail. No, I don't know. Next game up here, we've got
Airmail.
Airmail, which is $14.99. It's 10% off. I don't know if that will still be the case when everyone is listening to this, but $13.49.
The screenshots are insane. It looks like a Pilot Wings game, but like every single screenshot looks completely different.
Take to the skies as an airmail delivery pilot in a fantasy land rife with conflict.
Rife with conflict.
Action,
and
adventure, arcade, simulation.
It looks good.
This game looks. I'm gonna have to check that video out.
Yeah, it's $14.99, but it's also 10% off for the launch or whatever. I'm assuming so.
That's just what I said. Dang it.
But did you say that already?
Yeah.
I don't listen to you. Speaking of not listening to you, Ease 8 Lacrimosa of Dana.
It's Donna.
I know, that's why I said speaking of not listening to you.
So you were listening then. It's proven.
Dang it.
You got caught in your own Jimmy hole.
Jimmy hole. Yes, you love this game, right?
Yeah, this was a great game.
I believe, can I quote you saying you said it's the second best RPG on Switch?
Yeah, probably that I've
Possibly.
played. That I have played and enjoyed. It is my second favorite, yes.
All right.
Behind the greatest game of all time.
Vroom in the night sky. That was perfect.
Airmail.
Perfect
that I haven't played yet.
Airmail.
I'm telling you, that game looks sweet, dude. I pulled it up. I'm going to look at that after we're done recording.
Airmail. It's just the best name ever. Airmail.
Yeah, not messing around. Now,
let's see. We're a plane and we deliver mail. What should we call this game? Airmail. Anyway, last up we have Luminous Remastered. Sound, light, puzzle, action.
I've heard so many good things about this game.
I know.
Like,
I almost bought this on Vita.
I feel like all right, so like this reminds me a little bit, maybe not in the sense that they probably play very similar at all, but in the sense of how people talk about it, is like Meteos. It's like I fell in love with Meteos. It was amazing, like awesome puzzle game that I feel like not a lot of people, knew about, or or it wasn't like a, commercial critical everyone knows about it, So it's like this game, when I look at it, I want to try it. I wish there was a demo.
Me too.
Sound, light, puzzle, action.
I know Justin Nation is like super into this game, and I know Donald Terrio posted a really nice review of it that's on the site right now, which is, what's our site, Casey?
Pode.
I don't think that's it.
Something like that.
Something like that.
NWR, or I usually do NINWR.com, NintendoWorldReport.com. It'll get you there. But
oh really? NINWR.com gets you there?
Yeah, it's way That's how
look at that shortcut.
Saves you a couple key punches. But
yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, no, I mean, even just on Twitter, I've seen, like, I think I saw Brian Altano was like I love this game, like it's amazing. So it might be one I end up checking out at some point if there's ever a moment to breathe. But speaking of breathing, there's no time for that because we've got some news to talk about.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
News?
And by some, I mean exactly that. Just a few. There's not a lot, guys. It's been a slow week. But that's okay.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start it off with some unexpected news.
Is it not actually on my news block? Then I don't want to hear it.
Check. It might not be. Let me just check real quick. Did you put Bomberman on there?
Nope.
All right, Super Bomberman R has a brand new update that's pretty crazy. It adds a solid Solid Snake to it.
That's absurd.
And it's voiced by the original actor with David Hayter or whatever his name is.
And yeah, I know he was doing work for Smash Ultimate as well. They got
so
him.
Solid Snake Bomber and Naked Snake Bomber are in it, and there's 3 new Metal Gear stages.
That's awesome.
And they've added new checkpoints, a new rule. Grand Prix has a new checkpoints rule, so pretty cool. I mean, there's Solid Snake Bomber, Naked Snake, Raiden Bomber, Bill Bomber, Lance Bomber. There's a lot. There's like 10 more, but yeah. Anyway, pretty cool.
Speaking of
Did you
Solid
ever think that
Snake
game would
here,
ever do that?
what's up?
Did you ever think that game would ever do anything like that?
I mean, that it's still like pumping out new content and stuff.
Yeah.
Not particularly, but I could appreciate it. Here, check the chat because you probably haven't seen this yet. But speaking of Solid Snake, he's gotten what was that the glute syndrome that Hank Hill has?
DGS.
Did you see the
Diminished gluteal syndrome?
Did you see the screenshot yet?
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing.
So he had a very plump rear end in I guess Brawl was
Brawl,
the match,
yep.
And now he's got him and Hank are going they're riding mowers together. With prosthetics.
Him and Hank spray painted DGS on their lawnmowers. You do that, I'll throw a brick through your window.
Oh, that was one of the funniest episodes. I love that episode.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite lines when he's talking to his support group.
I think I might have.
Like, what?
I was gonna say I think I actually saw Josh on Twitter. I think posted like someone had superimposed like the picture of Hank's butt cheeks and the gown like onto Snake.
That's so good, dude. You know what I thought about?
What's that?
If Snake's in Smash, dude, are we gonna get a freaking Snake amiibo?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
That'll be amazing. Like, that's pretty sweet. Anyway.
No, that's really
Sorry,
cool.
I didn't mean to hijack your news block.
That's all right. That's all right.
You're used to it, though.
Yeah, big
It's
old
kind of,
crumb bum.
I'm looking at the news block. It kind of looks like it needs a little hijacking.
Yeah, it needs some PEDs injected into it.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, it really isn't that much coming. I guess we'll start off with some interesting things or interesting cross promotion that you might not have ever expected just a couple years ago, and it is Nintendo and Microsoft. And of course, we know with Xbox and Nintendo poking a little fun on Twitter the other day. We talked a little bit about that, but now obviously Microsoft owns Minecraft and all that jazz, and with the new update they sort of released a new trailer, and it completely leaned into Nintendo and Xbox. On the left side of the screen it was this girl dressed in green, her character was all green. And then there was a kid on the right. He was all in red, and his character was red. And they're going through Minecraft and this, that, and the other thing. And then at the end, it's boom. Half is the Xbox screen, half is Nintendo red, and it's like play together. Boom, 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 and both logos come up. They're showing the Switch and the Xbox controller throughout the whole thing, leaving Sony out in the dust with no words. Just really leaning into that, like, hey. If you want to play with anyone, anywhere, like, these are where you can do it, So, pretty crazy to just see, like I said, to think, years ago, would we have ever thought, Nintendo and Microsoft working together, to do these things? Yeah. And then it really begs the question, like, could you see Microsoft releasing some stuff for the Switch? Like, could they do a rare replay release for Nintendo Switch? Like that would be pretty crazy. I mean, I know a lot of people.
Yes. Could they? Yes. Will they? I don't know.
See, now I wonder because, like,
dude, if a rare replay came out for Switch, even if it was just the NES, Super NES 64, that would be like the most insane. That would be an all-time like seller.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, all right, so obviously, like, in the grand schemes of, like, the video game wars, console wars, like, Sony has beaten Xbox. Like, I think that is, this whole generation will be the PS4, much like last generation was the 360, So it's like Xbox One is just trying to do as much as they can. So
did 360 sell more than Wii?
It might not have sold more, but I think just towards the end, like, again, I feel like Nintendo sort of fell out of that, like, when you're comparing the two big boy consoles, quote unquote. But
yeah, I gotcha.
But like, I see like Microsoft's just like, hey, we need to curry as much favor. They're doing all like we mean business with games and just all games and business. So it's like Rare Replay isn't making any more money on Microsoft. Like they've sold their Rare Replays. So it would be interesting if like Microsoft is like, hey, Nintendo's coming in town, like we could sort of join forces to put a bigger dent into the Sony contingency, And like if you could be like, hey, you could play your Microsoft with, like you could play what?
Let's run Sony into the ground.
Let's beat those sons of guns. But yeah, I don't know. Could you imagine like all of a sudden they're like, Banjo-Kazooie's coming to Smash, and with him is Rare Replay. Like, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Because, like, honestly, I bet you Rare Replay would sell better on the Switch than it would or better than it did on Xbox One.
Yeah. And I think it sold pretty well on Xbox One, but yes.
But yeah, but imagine all of the Nintendo
sense.
fans like, you mean I could play my classic Rare games? Like, yes.
Heck yeah.
But anyway, moving along here. Next bit is we're going to skip that. We'll save the most interesting tidbit for the end. Limbo and Inside coming out June 28th, which, if you were listening to this podcast, means it's already out on the eShop. You can go pick them up. Have you ever played either of these games?
No. Well, I've played a demo of Limbo, and it was underwhelmed. I thought it looked really cool,
Yeah, you know what it is? I feel like Limbo is really like the first one to really do that, like, hey,
silhouette.
Yeah, so it's like now we see a lot of games do it, so it's like less special,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they're pretty short games. I think, just a couple hours, and you could sort of beat them in one sitting. And yeah, I played a little bit of it. I forget where, but I remember the spider coming down and just wrecking my day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, exciting. Hey,
like spiders do.
I know Limbo was critically acclaimed. I'm pretty sure Inside also was universally looked at pretty well. But yeah, more games. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
You wanna bring us into this Mario Kart business?
Yeah, this is cool. Mario Kart 8 got an update to allow for the Labo motorcycle to be played as a controller, which sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm almost surprised it wasn't sort of just right out of the box,
I know. Yeah, like,
because you'd think
yeah,
especially like grab a bike,
things. Like Mario Kart is such a huge thing, and being able to tie it into Labo might have helped it sell.
Yeah.
I
guess like, they were sort of trying to maybe distance themselves from like, hey, this isn't necessarily a video game, like this is.
I think they should have.
Yeah, no, I think.
I don't think they should have distanced themselves.
I think they should have just been like, hey, it's this cool thing, and it's got this application you can play, and yeah, if it makes sense for other games, like it, like if there was ever a fishing game or something, like, hey, you could use the fishing pole, like.
Well, like Animal Crossing, right? That has to be it.
Yeah, like bust out your pole.
Has to. That's gonna happen.
I bet you it doesn't.
They're gonna have it. I'm not betting.
Why not?
Although
you don't believe in your statements?
I have been on a streak.
All right, buddy. The man wins one bet, and all of a sudden now he's Mr. Got Rocks.
No, I won another bet with you, and you paid me $5. I don't remember what the bet was, but I remember I won.
Shut up. I'm tired of you.
Can't take it, Gibson.
Anyway.
I'm tired of you.
Tired of you. that pretty much brings us to the end of the news. I did want to mention that it is SGDQ, which is Summer Games Done Quick, on over on Twitch. It's a really cool speedrunning marathon. It is underway now, and like I said, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, there are a few more days. I think it runs through the end of the week. Literally like 7 days of nonstop speedrunning, and they raise money for Doctors Without Borders, and I believe I can actually do a quick check. They were north of $350,000 raised, I believe, last time I checked. I'm going to see if I can check it out right now. But yeah, it's like, we're talking like hundreds of thousands of people watching over the course of the week, and a lot of money being raised. And, I mean, that's sort of how I got into the speedrunning, like, sort of watch some of that, and you're like, it's actually pretty cool how they go about it. They are currently at, let me see, $455,000, so they usually break $1 million.
Uh-oh.
And it's pretty cool, so.
That's crazy. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can seriously pop onto that Twitch stream at any point, and there's, like, always 100,000 plus people watching, so. I guess they get a lot of people just, even if chipping in, a couple dollars here and there. But yeah,
it's great.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Well.
And it's unbelievable that that's the end of the news. All 3 minutes of it.
What a bear week. Post E3 itis.
You know what? That's okay. I've got the itis as well.
But it's time to tell you what game you're going to be reviewing.
Are you sure you don't want to go through your Craigslist?
You ruined my segue.
Well, all right, we could.
I was going to say, you're supposed to say, okay. Then I'm going to say, but first,
okay,
we got a Craigslist RoundUp.
We can redo it if you want.
Craigslist RoundUp.
What do you mean? What game? But whatever game do I have to play?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do Craigslist RoundUp a little different today. It's going to be a game.
I don't want to play a game.
Right. All right. Okay. Well, well then never mind.
I'm ruining everything tonight.
Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna be guess what Jim paid. That's what.
Guess
that's
what
the name
Jimmy paid.
Yeah.
He's in that big old gym hole.
Yep. Yeah, gym hole. That's a new one. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I got. Then you're gonna get 3 guesses, and I'll say higher or lower.
Okay.
And if you can get it, you win a prize.
All right.
So, Flame Red 3DS, the original. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great condition. Just a couple of little cuts on
nooks.
Little nooks on the couple little Tom Nooks on the outside, on the top, and then a charger. And Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart 7. Out of case.
So 2 loose games and a loose system with a charger.
Yep.
Flame Red little launch.
Flame Red.
Like the launch model?
Yeah. I think it was the first, like, new color. You know?
Yes. I'm going to say Mario Kart 7... I'm going to say $40.
Higher.
$60.
Less.
$50.
Ah, 55. 55 buckaroos.
That's what I said.
That.
55. Did I just win a Flame Red 3DS?
Ooh, that's what we should do sometime. Next time Craigslist, I'll give it to you if you can get it within 3 guesses.
All right. All of a sudden, you
like
get
it.
another crate of Japanese games. I just first try and nail it perfectly, and you're like, well, I guess I'll mail them.
Dang it, Jill!
Yeah.
You texted Casey.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That or I just
I
contacted
get
the
another
Craigslist
Switch.
person. I was like, did you just sell it to a big Jimmy? And it's like, oh yeah, big time. I was like, how much?
I'll make sure to tell him, hey, if this some weird guy
Yeah.
contacts you and he's calling me Jimmy. Anyway, but yes. Yeah, good haul this week. I mean, one pickup, but those go for at least 100, just the 3DSs alone. And I don't have a physical version of Smash. So
Oh, boom.
I've always wanted one. So yeah.
Yeah, I got the.
Now I
I
can
had to
play
get that physical
multiplayer.
Smash copy so you could get my soundtrack.
Yeah, well, I got it too.
Oh, okay, did it work if you did it digitally?
It works if it's digital too. Yep. Yeah, and I played it every single day with Aaron, so it was totally worth it on digital. Anywho, that'll do it for my Craigslist roundup. And that'll do it for the show. This was a quickie.
Well, not quite.
Well, I mean, not quite.
Jimmy's got to tell
Because
me.
I still have to tell you
I
something.
know.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I've been waiting.
I can see you're waiting. I thought you were going to say something.
And I
but you
think
didn't.
you're just stalling because you don't even know what game to pick. You're racking
No,
your
no,
brain, and you're like, I don't even know.
Oh, I know what game to pick. So, Casey, we had a competition for E3 predictions. We had a point system. You lost. And so the people voted on Twitter what you should do. Either stream a game for 30 minutes or do a video review of a game of my choice. And you have to include that Coke is delicious in the review. And that game, are you ready?
No, I got to go.
Okay, all right. Tune in next time. That game is Where's Waldo for the NES.
Is that a game you sent me? Or do I just
No.
maybe I'm trying to think if I have that game.
If you have that game, that's unbelievable.
Hold on, I'm going to check. Because it's like,
Please.
for some reason, I swear...
Check your little
My spreadsheet? What do you think I'm
Yeah,
doing, you Jimmy? I'm way ahead of you. Although I won't lie, I've gotten lazy with my spreadsheet.
Do you have digital games on your spreadsheet?
No, just physical.
Okay, just physical.
It was just physical, and now I can't find it. Where are you? It was just physical, and I stopped doing it for a while. Yeah, my Switch one's lacking. But anyway, all right, NES, where you at? My NES tab. I've got Where's Waldo, baby.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Perfect.
That's crazy. Okay. Well, you got to do a video review on that, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I pray that the it picks up by the Retron, but if not, that might be one I could download a ROM or something to get footage.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I will get footage for it.
You're a criminal.
No.
Because you own it.
Yes, even though that's completely not right, but I type in Where's Waldo NES into Google, and it goes first thing that comes up: terrible NES games. Where's Waldo YouTube?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
I'm
amazing.
excited to play this game. But yes,
Me too.
perfect. I'm so glad I have it. That's amazing.
I know. I that's unbelievable. So awesome.
Awesome.
Well, I'll give you a few weeks to get that done.
Yeah, you know what? I'll probably try and start playing it, and then it'll be, I'd say, maybe no more than 2 weeks.
Now, what I'm wondering is because you'll review it fair and square,
Oh yeah,
kind of
by 2018 standards, it'll be reviewed.
by 2018 standards. Now, here's the thing: is there a Metacritic for this game?
I can't
And
imagine.
would this affect it?
I can't imagine.
Okay.
I don't know. Can you imagine
If it does, I hope people don't get upset because
No,
this is just a joke.
No, because look,
People aren't gonna. Get
I did
upset
Where's
over this.
Waldo NES Metacritic, and you've got Where's Waldo for the DS and the Wii on Metacritic popping up.
Okay.
Oh man! All right, real quick, you know what? We're at liberty to BS a little bit at the end here since it's so quick. Where's Waldo: The Fantastic Journey for DS? Gamer Limit gave it a 70, and Nintendo Gamer a 56.
Man, that's not bad.
Nintendo Gamer, it's nice to see a developer bothering to make a good quality game for junior gamers, but the books are better.
I bet.
Let's see how to do. Oh, the fantastic. A little better. Digital Chumps 56. Kembo 65.
Dude.
68 for Gaming Trend. So a little better reviews over on the Wii.
Well, yeah, you got the bigger screen.
And you get point.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Dude, I can't wait to watch your video review.
I can't believe that's the game you went with, and I happen to have it.
I know.
Perfect.
That's weird.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, a little shorty this week, but
shorty this week.
that's okay. We're gonna have 2 interviews next week.
That's right.
One.
Yeah.
Well, do we tease? We could probably tease them, right?
We could tease them with. Let's not say the games, but tease the games.
We've definitely played one of these games at PAX.
There's one of them. The other one is a game that. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, it is a follow-up to a game, a small, bite-sized game that I reviewed and actually enjoyed quite a bit.
Heck yeah!
So yeah.
So there you go. There's the 2 teases.
Teases.
So next week you will hear on those, and I'm excited. And Casey, I'm glad you could join me on this episode 93 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. Thank you for listening. Check out our site, NintendoWorldReport.com. Check out our YouTube channel, NWRTV, if you're not watching on this already.
Which, yes, the link, if you're listening on iTunes, or I should say on iPod devices, link to the YouTube is right there in the description.
And
right below
at YouTube,
them beautiful time stamps that Perry is so kind to set up for us.
Yep, and if you go there, there's also a little mini series we do there called Talk Nintendo Challenge. It's there.
Yes,
it's
sir.
Awesome. It's a lot of fun. We're going to be recording a lot more of those with other staff members. It's going to be such a blast, right, Case?
Yes, sir. I sure hope so. I'll plan on it.
All right. Yep.
But yes.
I usually win, so I like those.
Nope.
Okay.
Jimmy.
Well.
Yep.
Sorry, I was just kidding. All right. Well, this has gone on long enough.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
All of a sudden, they're like, "What are they talking about? Normal episode."
Yeah, no, seriously.
30 minutes of BS yapping. It's like the music's been playing for a half hour now. It's like, well, we just keep on getting looped. Yeah, like it's the first time I had to loop it 5 times over. But anyway, yes, I've said my piece.
Did you confirm that's the real name?
Yeah, that's what everyone's been saying.
All right.
Yeah, I was like, Pode?
Poddy?
Podidi?
Pod?
Yeah. Poddy? Anyway.
You've got turf toe.
What do I do about it?
Well, you play through the pain, and I get to take you to the Heimlich County Sports Medicine Center. We can laugh at all the people with tennis elbow. Excuse me, sir, did you throw out your elbow playing golf or tennis?
Tennis.
You got caught in your own Jimmy hole.